Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Putt.
Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome back to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. Hey, look at that. All right, today is the 7th of April. It is the new moon. The new moon happened just a short while ago, specifically at 4:23 a.m. This is California time. So we are now almost 4 hours into the new moon. It's a new moon in Aries. You can see here's the moon. It's in Aries right here. So we have a new moon in Aries. Now, the one thing about this moon phase for today, it only lasts a short period of time. The new moon will continue to go on, and it's going to grow from a new moon all the way to a full moon down here on the 22nd. But you can see that Pisces comes to an end here. Aries, the moon sign, comes to an end here at 9:56 a.m., where it goes void of course. So the majority of the day, all the way until when we go into the next moon sign, which is in the morning at 1:10 a.m., the majority of today is going to be a void of course. So from 10 a.m. till roughly 1 a.m., void of course. And a void of course simply is that period where we're not in a specific sign, we're in between them. So we feel the effects of both where we are coming from, where we're going, but we're not quite seated in one particular sign or another. The aspects that have already passed this morning have been a trine with Saturn, a square with Pluto, and a conjunction with the Sun, both the Sun and the Moon together. So what we have is Aries leadership, putting things in order, dealing with the ideas of discipline, dealing with the ideas of transformation that comes through putting things in order. So this is the important one for the month. The Emperor, he who sets in order, okay? Putting in order the world around us. The Emperor is the overseer, and as things come out and are created, the Emperor sees how they are created and if they need to be reworked or if they move into the world because they're ready to go. That's the Emperor's job. If the things get organized in a proper way, the Emperor is happy. If things aren't organized properly, then things are chaotic. And so it's basically that simple way to look at things. Okay, so this void, of course, at 9:56 a.m. happens with Uranus, so unexpected changes in events kind of throw us into this afternoon where we will be void, of course, for the remainder of the day. You can see where everything is situated. Right here, our moon and sun both here in Aries. Here's that Uranus, Venus, imagination. There's a lot of stuff going on there in Aries. Okay, our moon sign, full moon, or new moon. On the Jewish calendar, today's 28 Adar, almost to the end of this particular month in the Jewish calendar. The daily thought for today is focusing your world. Our advantage as human beings lies in our power to speak, to articulate a nebulous world into meaningless words and phrases. God spoke and the world came into being. We speak and bring it into focus. Our words are the camera that determine reality. According to how we focus, so our world will be. With a small breath of air, we determine whether it is beauty that sprouts from the earth or monsters growing as large as our imagination. True, there is a time for all things, even a time to speak in negative terms, to make clear that something is wrong and needs correcting. But there is a caveat to negative words, for if they do not reach their goal, their bitterness still remains. Speak good words, kind words, words of wisdom, words of encouragement, like gentle rain upon a dormant field. Eventually, they will coax the seeds beneath the soil to life. Okay, on the Mayan Dreamspell Oracle, it's a 5-tone day in the wave spell of the serpent. Synchronicity navigation is our guide. Life force, or the human free will, is our hidden power today. The storm, gathering of energy, is our challenge, whereas the dog, love and loyalty, is our ally. The phrase for today is I empower in order to purify commanding flow. I seal the process of universal water with the overtone tone of radiance. I'm guided by the power of navigation. And we could see that we are here in the midst of these galactic activation portal days. 10 of them in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right here. Okay. So we are just getting started with this, and then we'll have a little break, but then we'll go into the middle pillar, and then we'll come out and we'll have 10 more days reflecting these 10 days. Solar wind 387.2 kilometers per second. Planetary K index quiet 1, could get up to a 2 in the next 24 hours. M class flare possibility. Corona holes before we get there. Nothing much in the way there. Slight little openings where we'll feel some effect around the 12th to 13th. M class and X class both at 1%. Geomagnetic storm activity subsiding slightly in the mid latitudes from 35 down to 30, upper latitudes from 50 down to 45. And looking up at the sky tonight, Io emerges from eclipse by Jupiter's shadow just beyond Jupiter's following limb at 10:04 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then, of course, the new moon that we're aware of today at 7:24 Eastern Time, 4:24 Pacific Time. All right, there you go. So we got Aries. Aries is winding itself up as the moon phase goes. We have that ending coming at 9:56 a.m. So the whole day is a void of course day. Just use it as a day to organize, to go over your work, get your work done, because we're getting ready to go into the next thing, which is Taurus. So we're coming out of a fire sign. Ideas. Finish up your ideas. Finish working with those things so that when we move into the next sign, the earth sign, we can now work with the earth because we've gone through and we've organized. So kind of use this as a point of reference to move you forward, because your subconscious wants to keep you going. That's the whole idea. You've got the 30 days period of time of the moon sign or the sun sign, and that gives you a longer period of time for the conscious mind to work things out. But every day there's something else going on with the unconscious mind that keeps us moving. That way we keep moving, along the way. It's sort of like a clock. One hand moves slower, one moves a little faster. There you have it. That is our cosmic weather for today. UFO news is up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. Today I have 4 good stories. The first one here. U.S. Navy spies learned of Hitler's alliance with reptilian extraterrestrials. In today's episode of Exo News TV, William Tompkins reveals an astonishing secret acquired by U.S. navies embedded within Nazi Germany's advanced technology projects during World War II. The Nazi war effort was being assisted by extraterrestrial visitors. The spies had reported to a covert naval intelligence operation located at Naval Air Station San Diego that Adolf Hitler had signed a secret agreement with representatives of a reptilian extraterrestrial race. In today's newly released Exo News TV interview, Tompkins reveals how reptilian consultants were helping the Nazi SS develop advanced weapon technologies. In the interview, Tompkins discusses the reptilian consultants helping the Nazis. They had, if you want to call them consultants, who are reptilian consultants, assisting on all of these different things that it takes to design and build these spacecraft carriers and propulsion systems as well. So this is an extremely well-developed program and documented like crazy. Getting copies of the documents was hard for them, hard for the spies. This was an open program in the upper level of the SS. Right, so you got the video here, particular video, 12 minutes, 22 seconds in length. Another nice clip here from Star Trek. The links are available so you can check them out on your own. Just making you aware of the stories. Next, we have a story. It says PC. Alan Godfrey, UFO witness on BBC Breakfast Time TV show. This is going back to 1980. It's an interview that he did there. It says this police officer was abducted by aliens in the 80s and was hypnotized to help him remember the event. It's a historical case. We can learn a lot about it. Many people, some of which our readers here had the interactions with aliens, either don't know it or recall it too well. All right, 1980 Alan Godfrey case hit is the main abduction case that Gary had researched in depth. He thinks the case is important because, as well as Godfrey's testimony, there are several independent witnesses that saw something strange in the sky at the same time in the local area. The timeline of Alan Godfrey's experience: November 28, 1980. Alan was in his patrol car in Tamorden, West Yorkshire. He was sent to check out reports of cattle wandering around a local council estate. He saw a bright light in the road ahead and thought it was a bus. As he got closer, though, it became clear that this was not the case. He found himself looking at a rotating object hovering over the road. He sketched the craft in his notebook. There was a burst of light, and he found himself driving further along the road with no sign of the UFO. He returned to the police station and later found that he was missing about 25 minutes of time. The sole of one of his boots was split, and he had an itchy red mark on his foot. Later, he would undergo hypnotic regression, where it was emerged that he was taken from the car and led into the craft. Here he saw robot-like creatures and a humanoid wearing a black skull cap. Gary had studied the videotapes of Alan's hypnosis session and has concluded that they were well conducted. Alan was not lying. He had nothing to gain from making up the story, and indeed his experience has had a negative effect on his life. Gary, who would also point to one pioneer of abduction research, the late John Mackin, concluded that many abductions go back to the victim's childhood. Alan Godfrey had spoken of seeing a blue tennis ball in the room as a child. Others reported these blue orbs both in their bedrooms and in other places, much of all driving. As a police officer, Gary was interested in evidence, and this case has so much of it. And here we have the interview. Check it out. The video is 15 minutes in length. Moving on, next story. Major Indian airport goes on a high alert due to UFOs. Normally, only regular air traffic is allowed to fly in and out around major airports, but lately something irregular, has shown up at Delhi's Indira Gandhi International, otherwise known as IGI Airport, putting several official security agencies on high alert. On October 30th, IGI Air Traffic Control, ATC, viewed suspicious flying objects 3 times near the ground and around the airport. According to the newspaper, sources said that Indian Air Force even pressed a chopper into action to check the flying object, but the helicopter could not find anything. The following map shows the proximity of IGI airports to the capital city region of Delhi, India. Okay, right here is the airport. Earlier last week on Tuesday, the ATC reportedly saw a flying object, possibly a drone, above the runway, but they couldn't come up with any visual evidence to confirm it. If that wasn't enough to cause official concern, the following day, Wednesday, October 28th, the pilot of a domestic airline reported being distracted by a laser beam while his aircraft was approaching IGI. According to airporttechnology.com, it's against the law in India to use laser beam devices anywhere near the airport. This is one of those cases where enough unidentified Aerial things were seen by several witnesses that it created high alert status around the airport, that despite the fact nobody was able to get any photos or videos of the source of the disturbances. It's not the first time this year a major Indian airport has gone on alert when unusual things were reported in the sky. Back May 23rd, 5 unidentified, uninvited, and unmanned objects put the Mumbai airport on alert. And this is a video about the incident there. And one of the things you could see is look at all of these different objects that appear to be out there. Videos 4 minutes 22 seconds. Now these are all parachutes, they say. Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to leave that link available for you so you can check it out, see what you think, and determine from that. And one last piece here. This is from the National UFO Center. It's called the Air Force Academy Space Sciences Textbook. Colonel Donald G. Carpenter. Environmental Space Sciences was a book taught at the Air Force Academy and written by Professor and Colonel who is the commander of the Space Track Radar Site at Whitmire, Alaska. He was the originator of the Space Science course at the U.S. Air Force Academy. Colonel Carpenter was kind enough to send Eastern MUFON the book he edited and wrote with 6 other officers. Most of the book pertained to the science of space, the sun, planets, plasmas, magnetic fields, radiation, meteors, planets, space dust, cosmochemistry, and planets and the moons. George Filer copied this data manually for you, the reader, because I felt it was important, so I hope you enjoy it. All of the chapters are of interest to the ufologists, such as the search for extraterrestrial life, but most important is Chapter 23, the UFO mystery. United States Air Force General J.A. Samford in the year 1952, and his comments is still true today. Honest and intelligent people are still reporting strange objects that are difficult and sometimes impossible to relate to known physical phenomena. Enough attention has been brought to this serious problem that the U.S. government particularly took action on 2 separate occasions. The first time was when it thought that the UFOs, unidentified flying objects, might possibly be evidence of the technological capability of a foreign but Earth-based power. In reaction to that possibility, the U.S. Air Force Foreign Technology Division, located at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, was given the tough job of determining whether or not the mysterious UFOs were a threat to the security of the United States. Unfortunately, many people thought the job was to determine exactly what the UFOs were. In the years which have followed, the Air Force has been unjustly maligned for supposedly covering up the real truth about UFOs. In actuality, the Air Force did precisely the job to which it was assigned. It determined the extent to which the UFOs threatened national security. The extent was found to be 0. However, the public was so unhappy with this lack of any real conclusions as to the nature of UFOs that the government took further actions to resolve the issue. The extent was found to be 0. However, the public was so unhappy with the lack of any real conclusions as to the nature of UFOs that the government took further actions to resolve the issue. As one of these actions, in 1966, it contracted for an independent scientific study to determine the real nature of UFOs. This chapter does not restrict itself to only that study, but instead covers the UFO problem from a broader perspective. First of all, you can see that's a lengthy article. And in this article, it talks all about the various different experiences that have occurred over time, what you believe they might be or not be. Okay, here's some different images of what the different races might look like. Vimanas we've heard about. Okay, so this is quite a book filled with a lot of information here. And of course, this is what they were teaching. conclusion. From available information, the UFO phenomenon appears to have been global in nature for almost 50,000 years. The majority of known witnesses have been reliable people who have seen easily explained natural phenomena, and there appears to be no overall positive correlation with population density. The entire phenomena could be psychological in nature, but that is quite doubtful. However, psychological factors probably do enter the data picture as noise. The phenomena could also be entirely due to known and unknown phenomena with some psychological noise added in, but that too is questionable in view of some of the available data. This leaves us with the unpleasant possibility of alien visitors to our planet, or at least of alien-controlled UFOs. However, the data are not well correlated, and what questionable data there are suggests the existence of at least 3 or maybe 4 different groups of aliens. This too is difficult to accept. It implies the existence of intelligent life in a majority of the planets in our solar system, or a surprisingly strong interest in Earth from members of other solar systems. The solution to the UFO problem may be obtained for the long and diligent effort of a large group of well-financed and competent scientists. Unfortunately, there is no evidence suggesting that such an effort is going to be made. However, even if such an effort was made, there is no guarantee of success because of the isolated and sporadic nature of the sightings. Also, there would be nothing to find, and that would mean a long search with no profit at the end. The best thing to do is keep an open, skeptical mind and not take an extreme position on any side of the question. The images in this textbook are not in the textbook and are placed to help the reader understand the information. Okay, so this goes to show that as much as they know, they're still searching, they're still learning, trying to figure it out like most everybody else. Okay, there you have it. That's our UFO news. I shall be back momentarily. Stay tuned.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Let's continue on here. So we haven't discussed the planet Nibiru in some time. So here we go. This is an article dated April 6th. That would be yesterday. Newly discovered planet could destroy Earth any day now. A mysterious planet that wiped out life on Earth millions of years ago could do it again, according to top space scientists. And some believe the apocalyptic event could happen as early as this month. Planet 9, a new planet discovered at the end of the solar system in January, has triggered some comet showers that bombed the Earth's surface, killing all life, says Daniel Whitmire of the University of Louisiana. The astrophysicist says the planet has a 20,000-year orbit around the Sun, and as closest to it, it knocks asteroids and comets toward the Earth. Fossil evidence has suggested most life on Earth is mysteriously wiped out every 26 million to 27 million years. Whitmire claims that Planet Nine's passage through the rock-laden area called the Kuiper Belt is responsible for the extinction events. All right, we have a video here. I'm not going to play this. It's 3 minutes. I'm going to move on to the next story, which pretty much is the same thing, except it gets into explaining a little more detail. It says, Daniel Whitmire and Planet X, 5 fast facts you need to know. Daniel Whitmire, retired astrophysics professor, believes that the mysterious Planet X, sometimes known as Planet 9, has caused extinction-level events on Earth and will do so again. Even more frightening is the idea that it could happen at any time. Who is Whitmire? Here's what you need to know. Whitmire believes a distant planet could cause mass extinctions on Earth and could do so again. Okay, just don't be worried. It says an artist rendition. It says Whitmire published findings earlier this year connecting the undiscovered Planet X to mass extinctions on Earth. According to physics.org, the research was published in the monthly notices by the Royal Astronomical Society. The theory is that the undiscovered planet triggers comet showers that are tied to multiple mass extinction events in Earth's history. Every 27 million years, this planet passes through a distant Kuiper belt of comets, knocking comets into our solar system. These comets then smash into the Earth, and the ones that don't disintegrate as they get near the Sun, blocking some sunlight from reaching our planet. Whitmire first published research on the idea of connecting Planet X to mass extinctions in 1985 in the journal Nature. He and his colleague John Matisse published the idea while working as astrophysicists with the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. The research was even published on a cover of Time. The title of the then shocking article was, Did Comets Kill the Dinosaurs? A bold new theory about mass extinctions. His theory is supported by a fossil record that points to a comet showers happening every 26 to 27 million years. 2. Orbital anomalies in a comet belt indicate the presence of an unknown large planet. Whitmire's theory gets a boost earlier this year when Caltech researchers found orbital anomalies in the Kuiper belt, which Whitmire proposes is the source of the mass extinction comet showers. The anomaly points to the presence of an undiscovered large planet that is 10 times the mass of the Earth and also 1,000 times more distant from the Sun. Mike Brown, the Konstantin Batgin, both from Caltech, analyzed the motion of a group of small objects in the outer parts of the solar system and found that an unseen body must be influencing them, likely a massive planet. The objects are clustered in the Kuiper belt far away from Earth. The Kuiper belt is beyond Neptune, a field of icy objects and debris. The evidence was published in the Astronomical Journal. You can read the study at this link. According to the study, the unusual orbits of the objects in the Kuiper belt can be accounted for by a massive planet whose orbit is on the same plane. Planet 9 is estimated to have a mass of about 10 times that of the Earth and an orbit 20 times further from the Sun on the average than Neptune's, according to Caltech. 3. Some scientists say Planet 9 is not the same as Whitmire's Planet X. Brown doesn't think Whitmire's planet matches the Planet 9 that he's seen evidence for. Whitmire has been suspecting for decades about a very distant, very massive planet pushing comets around. It has to have an orbital period of something like 27 million years, Brown said to Discovery. It definitely has nothing to do with Planet 9 and much closer to the Sun than our thus only takes 15,000 years to go around. He said the evidence for Planet 9 says nothing about whether Planet X could or could not exist. However, Whitmire said that although he knows the current evidence for Planet 9 doesn't fit his Planet X ideas precisely, he's still enthusiastic about the connection, Metro reported. I feel very positive about the new evidence, though the current estimates are not completely consistent with our Planet X model. He added that it is possible that a smaller, closer planet could explain the Kuiper belt anomalies. Whitmire is a retired astrophysics professor currently teaching math at the University of Arkansas. Whitmire is retired from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. He retired in 2012. In 2013, he began teaching math at the University of Arkansas. Whitmire's Rate My Professor rating Arkansas is varied. Some students complained that he wasn't familiar with the current tech like Blackboard. Others say he's a great professor, easy to talk to, and always willing to lend an extra help if needed. And finally, Planet X and Planet 9 are tied to the end of the world mythology. The idea of a planet causing worldwide destruction is also tied to mythology and doomsday predictions. A number of myths and conspiracy theories exist that a mysterious ninth planet lurks out in the shadows of the solar system and is responsible for hurtling asteroids towards Earth and causing past extinction events. This mysterious planet has been called by many names, from Planet X to Nibiru and more. One doomsday theory is about Nemesis, a companion star to our sun or a gas giant that may have a planet that orbits it. The general theory is that Nemesis is tied to extinction events on Earth. The idea was first presented in 1984 by scientists at the University of California in Berkeley and Princeton University. According to an AP story published at that time, they believed a dim dwarf star might periodically cause immense comet showers that killed up to 70% of the life on Earth. There have been many claims that the ancient Sumerians somehow knew about an extra planet that was beyond Pluto in our solar system. They cite photos such as the one above as evidence that the Sumerians knew of an extra planet. The photo is an image of an ancient Sumerian cylinder seal showing planets orbiting the sun, which some say include an extra mysterious planet. Zechariah Sitchin's, labeled a pseudoscientist, claims in his book that this is an example of Sumerian knowledge and cataclysmic planet. There's also the Nibiru myth, which is an idea that a large planet will come close to or collide with Earth in the 21st century, create a doomsday event. The planet is typically called Nibiru or Planet X. Scientists reject this theory. It was first proposed by Nancy Lieder in 1995. Really? This Planet X was first proposed by Nancy Lieder? I don't think so. I think it was proposed a lot longer than that. Much longer than that. So, okay, so there we go. Nibiru, Planet X, Planet 9. Some think it may be here sooner than later. So, look up into the skies. We may see it. Or then again, we may not. But it just goes to show that as much as we think we know down here on Earth, we really don't know as much as we think we know because we're still looking. If we were so certain we would know exactly where this is and when it's coming in, we wouldn't be speculating on such things. But then again, remember the other day I talked all about the information wars? That's what's going on. It's an information war. Somebody has the real information about this, but they're not allowing that out. And anytime someone gets close to that information, it's debunked. Information goes out to disorient and change what that's all about. And so that's the problem. So we're always fighting this battle of information. What information is true? What is false? And we need to use our discernment to get to the bottom of it. All right, here's a piece from Brother Nathaniel. I haven't done anything by him in a while, so I thought today would be a good day to remedy that. This is Brother Nathaniel. It's called What You Don't See About the Antichrist. Let's check out here what he has to say.
It won't be by trumpets. Instead, the Antichrist blasts of trumpets. Instead, the Antichrist prefaces his entrance by diffusing his spirit into the social milieu. Can you sense it? To even say you're a Christian makes you a pariah, out of step with the times. Changing the times and seasons is what the Antichrist will do, said the prophet Daniel. Can't you see it? Time-honored marriage between a man and a woman has been changed into the unseasonable pseudo-marriage between same-sex couples. He will leave the faith of his fathers, said Daniel of the Antichrist. What are the reasons why the Orthodox Church says the Antichrist will be a Jew? It's hidden for those without eyes to see. But for those who do, Jewry has been changing the times and the seasons all along. All is merging into oneness where the unifying and distinct character of national peoplehood is being obliterated. Religion too. The Vatican is fusing with the synagogue, saying that Jews don't need Jesus, and evangelicals with Zionists saying that Jews, not Christians, are the chosen people. Globalization leaves no stone unturned with its economic and social agenda. Cram everyone between four borders and there's no consensus, no reservoirs of power to repel the deadening spirit. He that denies that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is of the spirit of Antichrist, warned St. John in the New Testament. He was referring to Jews who, in his day, rejected the incarnation and messiahship of Jesus. The Jewification of the world continues to grow. Israel's power increases. Hanukkah replaces Christmas, and the Holocaust religion makes martyrs out of Jewish corpses. With that shield of victimhood, the economic planners go untouched. Silently, hidden from view, a one-world governance is forming of which Jews are the planners. Forex, SWIFT, letters of credit are in their hands. The weapon of economic warfare, sanctions, is set in stone at the U.S. Treasury. And the operatives of global finance, Rothschilds, the Fed, Goldman Sachs, revolve around what Christ called the synagogue of Satan. It's a universal venue from which the Antichrist will reign. What you don't see about the Antichrist could end up in your wrist.
All right. All right. Good message from Brother Nathaniel. You know, when he mentions and says the synagogue of Satan, think about that for a moment. We have, and let's relate this back to the Nag Hammadi, what we've learned through there. Yeshua understood that the deity, the being who created the earth, was the fallen one. The Gnostic Gospels refer to him as Yaldabaoth, but we know Yaldabaoth has another name in the Old Testament, and that's Yahweh. Well, Yahweh is the fallen one. Yaldabaoth is the fallen one. Fallen one we know of is referred to as Satan. This fallen one is the one that is the God of the Jews. It's the God of the Old Testament, the God of the Torah. So the God of the Torah is the one who is the fallen one that is also known as Satan. Therefore, when Yeshua says and talks about the synagogue of Satan, you see how it all ties together? The clues are right there. Okay? The clues have been there for a long time. And we wonder, what does he mean, the synagogue of Satan? We know, because it's the fallen one who is being worshipped in place of the real God. That is the problem. All right, and in regards to all of the information from the Nag Hammadi, now that I've mentioned this, I brought this site up here. This is a really cool site. It's called GnosticJesus.com. And this site here has an area where you can go Cartoon Guide to the Gnostic Myth. And you can go through here, and it is pretty awesome because it takes the whole story that is in the Gnostic Gospels and it breaks them down section by section to make it really easy to understand. From the alien god, this is, when it talks about the mother, the father out there, no name to them. And then we have the whole immortal realms. And then we have the birth of the Demiurge, Yaldabaoth, Yahweh, and, the beings that he created. And then man comes into the picture. And then Gnosis, how knowledge was passed on to humankind. The rise in the Nephilim, and then finally Yeshua and his mission, and how he kind of foiled their plan. And when you click on each one of these sections here, you could see that there's a number of posts for each one. And so I'm just going to click on one, and you can just see that each one of these just gives a nice little page, not very long, just a nice little page describing what's going on. Before there was God, a heaven or earth, there was only the alien God, the infinite eternal mind who dreams all realities. So I wanted to bring you this link because this is a pretty cool site, and it really makes it very easy to read and easy to understand what's going on with the stories of the Nag Hammadi, because this takes it in nice little bite-sized chunks that you can absorb, read a little bit, go on to the next section. Okay? So there's that. There is that. That brings us now to this next story here. 3 simple rules protecting yourself from energy vampires. Okay, very important, because in this world we're in, we know there's a lot of this kind of stuff going on. So we do need to protect ourselves. The human body generates an electromagnetic field. When the field is easily disrupted, it can manifest in many ways, including being sensitive to people and environments. You might recognize the feelings of being a sensitive soul. Being around a certain someone puts you in a bad mood. Having to go into a crowded party overwhelms you. When someone isn't happy with you, you feel as if you're being physically attacked. Being energetically sensitive means what you're picking up on and absorbing negative energies from those around you. You're not just moody. Great news, right? Having a strong and balanced energy system is the best way I've learned to stay protected from energy vampires. Do this daily, and you have a little routine that will help you strengthen your system so you can do it anywhere. Okay, 3 simple rules. Number 1 is balance. Make sure your energy system is strong and balanced. There are many ways to do it. My favorite is the thymus thump. Thumping a gland in the center of your chest called the thymus gives you an immune system boost. This is also effective for calming fear and balancing your system quickly. Simply use your fist to thump like Tarzan for about 30 seconds and some big deep breaths. 2. Ground. Ground your energy. The more grounded or connected to the Earth's energies you are, the less shaken you'll be by your environment. A great way to ground is literally pulling your energy down through your feet. Place your hands at the sides of your waist with your thumb in the front of your fingers. Back toward the back. Slide your hands slowly and firmly down your legs. When you get to your feet, squeeze the sides of your feet. Doing this on grass, dirt, or sand makes it even more powerful. And number 3, protect. By tracing a central meridian, an energy pathway running up the front of your body, also highly attuned to the thoughts and emotions, you're able to strengthen it. Place your hands at the bottom end of a central meridian, which is at your pubic bone. Inhale deeply as you simultaneously pull your hands straight up the center of your body to the lower lip. Repeat 3 times. With the electromagnetic force of your hands, you are literally moving the energy in the meridian in the direction of its strength, and in turn, the meridian is strengthening you. While doing this exercise, you can also add the affirmation, I am safe and protected. Breathe. Breathing allows energy movement in your body. If you hold your breath in crowds or around difficult people, you're actually preventing any negative energy from moving right through you. Cross your arms and legs when feeling energetically vulnerable. This actually protects your aura and creates the energy shield. Negative energies being directed at you will bounce off and return to their sender. Pick your location wisely. Stand by a window or door in crowds to avoid sitting in front of a class or a room where people direct their energy towards you. Black tourmaline, a crystal that can be purchased for just a couple of dollars, is an excellent negative energy absorber. Put it in your pocket, purse, or just keep it close by when feeling vulnerable. Now you have lots of minute or less tools to keep you balanced, grounded, and protected. Don't forget, they only work if you use them. Okay, so there you go. Good little story how to get rid of the energy vampires, and we have plenty of those in life these days, so it's always very important. Okay, let me jump over here. I'm going to play this message from Quan as our channeled message for today. Here we go.
Gratitude Chuan Yin, April 6, 2016, channeled by Daniel Stanton. It is I, Quan Yin. I am grateful for the opportunity to speak with you about what it means to be grateful. The experience of gratitude is an experience that reinforces the creation of that which you are grateful for. When you take things for granted, you begin to give them less and less of your attention, until they disintegrate. But that which you are grateful for has your attention, and your appreciation of it sustains the energy that creates it. So make it a practice of yours to be grateful for that which you already have. You don't have to worry that giving your attention to that which you already have will somehow not result in the expansion of your experience. Quite the opposite is true. You will notice that the more gratitude you show and offer, the more of your energy you allow to flow through you. And so, if you had plenty of money, and you showed your gratitude for the money that you have, you may actually then begin to draw in other experiences of abundance. There are many expressions of abundance, not all of which are money. So as you focus on that which you are grateful for, you are tuning yourselves to the frequency of what has your attention. And anything that is of a similar vibration will begin to appear in your experience. So you are creating the new by focusing with the feeling of gratitude on what already is in your experience. You have so many opportunities every day to be grateful for something, to find something to focus on that you want to harmonize with. And if you make that a daily practice, I promise you there will be more in your life to be grateful for. I am Quan Yin, and I hold you in my heart.
All right, good message on gratitude. Gratitude's always so important. Always so important because, well, that's how we move ourselves through the world. I wanted to bring this article before we do our meditation. Throw this into the mix of gratitude. 12 lessons to learn from highly successful people. All right. Henry Ford, here's a quote. The whole secret of successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do and then do it. Henry Ford. Success means different things to different people, and I notice that many of us have some kind of resistance to the word success, even though deep down inside this is exactly what we want to live. We all want to live a successful and a meaningful life. Observing the world and from reading the stories of the many great men and women that lived and still live on this planet, I've noticed many of the highly successful people are in one way or another living by a set of golden rules. Today, I will share with you a few of these lessons so we can learn from these people, as I am sure that many of us will find this empowering, helping us to live a more inspiring, balanced, happier, successful life. Okay, I'm just going to read the 12 points, and I'm going to leave for you to go back and in depth. But the first of these is no dream is too big. Okay, no dream is too big. In order to be successful, you need to think big. Second, listen to your heart and intuition. Very important because that will always guide us in the right direction. Seek balance. Again, balance. We just heard about balance in the Energy Vampires segment. We need to have that balance. Pay little attention to the naysayers. Very important because people are always going to be naysayers. People who aren't having success, that are doubting, just ignore them. You have to take the path less traveled. That's part of the process. If everybody, was traveling the same path, we'd have a world with a lot more success, but we don't. You have people that are traveling paths of least resistance as opposed to the path less traveled. Gratitude attracts more of the things you want in life, just like we heard. Success is a state of mind. We hear this over and over, which is why we do things like affirmations, visualizations, to put yourself and put ourselves in that state of mind. You don't have to know everything. You hire people to help you do the things you don't know. Be present in all that you do. Very important because this moment is where we do the creating. We can't travel to the past. We get to the future by organizing and being present here to create. So this moment is very important. You already have enough. Okay? Says we need to understand that constantly chasing after the next big thing more and more will make us feel like we're lacking. This is poverty thinking. Okay, we already have enough, so we create because we choose to. We don't worry that we're in loss. We are adding to life because we choose to add to life, not because we're in need. Giving is receiving, because as we give, the universe gives back to us, comes back to us. So, very important lesson to know. Humility. You always have to be humble in life, and those who get and are out of humility, well, they always have more challenges than those who are in. So, these are 12 good points of someone who is having success in life. And success is not determined by a money amount. Success is determined by, are we happy in life? Are we doing in life what we want to be doing? That's success in itself. And of course, there's degrees of success within every profession that we use to measure that success by. But there's millions of people in the world, and millions of people are out there trying to have success. It's not always going to be in the same way. Nonetheless, everybody has an opportunity to be successful. And that's the whole point of it, all of this. We all have the opportunity. We're all here together to rise above the situations because, quite frankly, we're all in this system together. Whatever is taking place, we're all here. So we may have the little squabbles with each other over issues like race and gender and countries and leadership and on and on. But we're all here together, so us fighting with each other doesn't help us in the big picture. It only makes it more difficult for us as a whole to be able to move forward. So that really leaves us with working together in groups, small groups, because then we can control and move forward with groups of people who are interested in moving forward. Well, in this world, we know, quite frankly, there's a lot of people who have no interest in moving forward. They just want to stay where they are. So again, it goes back to, what do we want to do? What is it that we're wanting to do in life? All right, that finally brings us to our meditation for today. So go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. Another breath. And exhale. And keep breathing in and out. And as this breath goes in your body, feel it move through each and every cell. Moving all the way down, from inhaling down all the way to the tips of the toes, back up again, through the head and back out, and exhale. And feel every cell being cleansed. As we breathe in and out, think about the success you'd like to have in your life, and allow that image to embed itself within your being as you inhale. And as you exhale, express that desire out to the world. And simply allow yourself through this breathing process just to feel at peace and feel that all that you need is available. That the breathing, that the light, that the love, everything we need in life is available. And as we open our eyes and we look to truly see what is available in our lives, we realize we have more than enough. And that all images to the contrary are simply illusions. So let's just imagine looking around in our lives right now and seeing all that we truly have, to put in the proper perspective. See that we have the roof over our head, the food for our bodies, people to communicate with, our ideas, ways to get where we need to go, resources to help us get things that we would like to have, and on and on. And as we really think about it, we realize that we have all that we need. And that by simply adjusting our vision of that, do we understand what that means? For once we realize that we have all that we need, we stop looking and we simply bring forth that which we already possess. So let's just imagine now that we are bringing forth from inside of ourselves an energy into the world of what it is we wish to manifest in our lives, and see that the moment we are able to think that, we're able to manifest that into the world. So let's just allow ourselves then to have clear thoughts that allow those things we manifest into the world to be pure and of spirit. Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, Divine Christ, thank you for blessing our lives with an abundance of love, light, energy. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to grow and move past the challenges of this physical reality, that we might understand ever more the underlying spiritual connection that each and every one of us has. So let's just imagine ourselves walking along. Let our subconscious mind continue on this journey, feeling the gratitude of all that we experience, grateful for the lessons that we are learning from each of these experiences. And let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale, and open your eyes. All right, that is it for today. Thank you very much for being here, my friends. I really appreciate that you take the time to be here, that you listen to the show. Please feel free to share the show with others. Send them the links. Like the stories if you like them. All that good stuff. You can reach me at Facebook. You can reach me at Yahoo, First Contact Radio at Yahoo. You could reach me at the website. All different ways in which we can communicate. So I always like hearing from you. And I thank you very much for being here and taking the time out of your life to check out what is happening. That's it. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, have yourselves an awesome day. I love you. Keep loving each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.